know how many snaps he played, but we gonna put a hot tub on the plane for him to make sure he's straight.
Sanders, near side, ball caught. Omarion Miller turns it up. Miller with a burst. Can he get there? Omarion Miller down. University of Southern California program in general. Here's Sanders, throws a deep ball. And caught at the 15.
The contact, and I think he gets his right arm held behind him, and he goes out just left-handed and then corrals it with both hands going to the ground. Back across the field.
4th down and 5. Sanders sprints out of the pocket, looking. Touchdown, Omarion Miller!
Miller is off the charts on this play. It's a broken play. Sanders scrambles out of the pocket, and here's Miller running the back end line. And watch, he's going down.
Shedeur Sanders, sideline throw, caught. Omarion Miller with a burst. Oh, he almost. The freshman from Louisiana. Sanders caught.
In the middle, it's taken a lot of time.
Here's Sanders dancing around, breaks a tackle, lets it go. Sideline, Miller.
This boy here is a bad dude. This dude ran that out route. I grabbed him. I said, man, that was an NFL out route. The patience on it. Man, you made a play, man. Way to keep playing, man. Big time players make big time plays and big moments. And that was, we'll give him a time.
Yeah, it is.
Kind, courteous kid. He's somebody you like to spend time with, you like to be around. I'm taking him down to Baton Rouge. We're going to go watch LSU and Auburn play this weekend and bringing a couple of his buddies. So he's just a genuine, nice guy. You can tell people have poured into him, to try to make him the solid young man, and they have, to make him into just a really solid young man who's a positive representative for our football team and for this community.
Omarion Miller is a product of good people with experience.
Everybody thought I was going to be a basketball player. I couldn't play football for nothing in the world. I hated football.
You see, it all started watching Cato win on the basketball court. State championship girls squads, the NBA star Robert Williams helped pave the way.
I never forget my 8th grade year. Coach Cal, the high school coach, he had came to the middle school, told me he think I'd be good on the football field. He knew basketball was my thing back then, but he had told me, he think football was for me. I just gave it a shot my freshman year, and I started to like it.
But sadly, the road started winding a few years back.
2018, he lost his daddy. Then when he lost his daddy, my daddy stepped up, and then I lost my daddy this past December. So it's like he lost 2 father figures back to back.
That was a tough loss for me. I ain't lying. They really just hurt me. So I told myself it was just time to get in the lab and grind. I just had it. I had a why I got to do it. So it was like I had to do it.
The Vivian legend Big D happens to be family, and he knew that O needed counsel.
Big D he was on me more than I was on O. He was like, man, I want you to take care of O. Make sure you're looking out for O, no matter what. Whether that's athletics, grades. He pulled me to the side one day and was just telling me what he saw in me. And said, man, if you do me a favor, just pour in the O.
It's been a community effort to keep O on the right track. He understands and appreciates it all, and knows that his job is to do the same.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I can say I'm spoiled. Really everything I ask for, I get it. So I just can't be too mad at the world.
When I say the community behind him, he got the whole community behind him.
With a population of roughly 3,500 people, the town of Vivian isn't the biggest in Caddo Parish, but it is housing one of the best-kept secrets in the entire state. Maybe the most dynamic offensive player in Louisiana high school football, North Caddo's Omarion Miller.
He's a generational talent. You know, he's something like I've never seen before here at North Caddo. He draws comparisons to what Megatron, you know, was back in his day in college and in high school. Just unstoppable.
Against Bossier High last Friday night, Miller was just that, unstoppable. He also had a 2-point conversion catch you will never forget.
As I was going up, the defender, he was holding my left hand, so I just went over my right hand and tried to grab it, and I just happened to grab it.
And you can't blame defenders for not knowing how to stop Miller. Miller currently leads the state in receiving yards with just over 600. Miller does have some advice for those trying to slow him down.
Yeah, I just hope you can jump, because, you know, when the ball is in the air, it's mine. I'm going to go get it, you know. Most people wait for the ball to come down to them, but the thing with me, I'm just go get it.
You know, teams try to bracket him, double team him, and he just goes up. What ends up happening about half the time is he goes up, catches the ball. Those two other guys bang into each other, fall down, and he walks into the end zone, you know. I've seen it happen half a dozen times.
And maybe the most important ball he caught came in the offseason in front of Coach Joe at an LSU camp. Now, Miller's committed to the Tigers. He's happy the rest of the world is finally seeing what he's capable of.
Well, I just feel like that's something I had something to prove, you know. Not everybody's just seeing it, so, you know, it's like, wow.
With over half of the season left, there's still plenty of wow moments ahead of the junior wide receiver. For Omarion Miller's 161-yard, 2-touchdown performance, he's our Player of the Week.
North Caddo, Titan wide receiver Omarion Miller is headed to LSU after committing to the Tigers earlier this week. The soon-to-be junior shared with us the moment he was offered a scholarship to play for his dream school after his catch at a June camp went viral.
In my mind, I was thinking, like, I got to do something to catch everybody's eye, and I just happened to make that play. And it's just like, wow. I got back to the line, you know, he put me to the side, and he was like, he want to offer me to play with LSU. And I haven't told nobody this, but he said he was going to make me a Tiger, so here I am today.
High school ranks. LSU's first commit of the 2023 class is hard at work up in Vivian as Omarion Miller and North Caddo closed out their first week of fall practice today. The 4-star class of 2023 wide receiver announced his decision to play at LSU over Twitter, stating that he's 1,000% committed to the Tigers. Recently, Miller was at LSU for their Boys from the Boot recruiting event after a summer of visiting different programs and says that's where his choice became clear. It also helps that a number of talented players from the 318 made it to the NFL after playing in Baton Rouge.
Oh, you know, it was a big decision. You know, LSU producing big-time NFL athletes. You know, Terrence Marshall, Devin White, Tre'Davious White. You know, so you know they led in that decision of going there too.
Miller and the Titans are just one of the 24 teams we will feature in our countdown to Friday Football Fever. It kicks off Sunday, August 15th with 2 stories a day, giving you an inside look at some of the teams we will see on the Fever this season. They'll run up until the first Johnny's Pizza House Friday Football Fever Scores and Highlights show of the year. It's Friday, August 27th at 10:30 over on KPXJ. Man, I can't wait.
When North Caddo's Omarion Miller gets to the line of scrimmage, a couple of thoughts run through his mind.
I'm finna kill you every time. You know. I feel like nobody really can guard me when I'm doing my thing 100%.
The 4-star junior wide receiver committed to LSU over the summer after visits to schools like Miami and Mississippi State. Head coach J.J. Kavanaugh says the attention on the recruiting scene is matched by opposing coaches.
There's very few times I can see teams just putting one man on Omarion and just letting it go, because we'll be able to take advantage of that. We've got some quarterbacks who can push the ball down the field, and he's going to go get it.
Kavanaugh says they can use up to 3 quarterbacks, and one of those is senior Zion King, who backs up his underclassman's skills.
He the hype man. He throw the ball, he going to grab it. Everybody love to see it. I expect to double team almost every game, so you know that ain't nothing new. So expect my teammates to step up and make some big-time plays.
Senior linebacker Kentrell Potter will cross paths with Miller from time to time in practice and likes the challenge.
I like competition as myself, so any chance I get, they throwing the ball, I'm after. Other defenders, they don't know him as well as we do because, you know, he here, so we treat him like family. We're all brothers on the team. But other defenders, good luck, basically.
After back-to-back district titles, the Titans want to go for a third and much more.
They not ready for us.
I think we can go in the state this year, you know. Got some big-time starters back, you know. So I think we're going really far this year in the playoffs, you know, do big things.
We make it a point to emphasize we want to do things that people have never done before at this school. So we want to take it further than it's ever been before.
Previewing North Caddo on the countdown to Friday Football Fever, I'm Daniel Brown.
Coming in, the headline of this game between North Caddo and Boulder was offense, as both teams were averaging over 30 points per game. But it turned out to be a one-sided offensive explosion as the Titans took this one 42-6. And while Coach Kavanaugh was happy with his team's performance with the ball, he was even more impressed with his team's defense.
I have tremendous faith in our offense and have all year. I know we can put up points. I mean, everybody knows the talent that we have on offense. That's no secret. But so impressed with our defense. Coach Thompson put together a game plan, and Coach Dennis, they worked it out. They knew what would it take to stop them. And wow, did our guys execute it. They executed it to perfection. Pressure all night, and we were really impressive. Really impressive. As a defensive coordinator, I wouldn't want to go against this. You know, you got to shut down the passing game with Omarion. You got to shut down the running game with KJ. It's kind of a pick your poison. Like I've told people all year, we've got 3 quarterbacks, and you saw them all play tonight. You know, Matthew and Jay Hodge and Zion King, all 3 played and all did well. So I mean, you don't know, they all have different skill sets. I mean, I just feel like we're really tough to game plan for.
I just told Coach to get the ball in my hand. You know, I'm going to make a play, man. You know, I feel like nobody can stop me. Just told him going into this game, man, just believe in your teammates and make on count on that play. That's what we did, you know, playing as a team. When we play as a team, you know, can't nobody stop us.
We never lack for confidence, honestly, but I think it's through the roof right now. I think it is through the roof. You know, the expectations for the rest of the year are sky high. Just want to keep on rolling, keep working, keep getting better. But I think they know how talented they are and that we can get things done.
Now, something to keep in mind is that the Bearcats were playing with a condensed lineup, as Coach Johnson said that about 30 guys were sidelined due to COVID-19 tracing. Reporting from Bossier High, I'm Sam Rothman.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the show. I mean, we've had Coach Thompson, we've had Gianni on from North Caddo. We talked about Coach Kavanaugh, Coach Reagan Smith. Talk about the history of even North Webster, where Coach Thompson went, played with Devin White. Doesn't get any better than that. We talk about some of the local schools in Shreveport and all the way to Manny. We even talked about some of the people that went to North Caddo. But this is going to be a famous guy in that Wikipedia one day. One day when you go to Wikipedia and they say famous alums with Robert Williams and all these other guys, you're going to see a kid's name by the name of Omarion Miller, who they call O. They're going to have to put that in Wikipedia. O, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Sir.
I mean, you came all the way down from Vivian with Coach.
Yes, sir.
And Gianni, y'all came down. Obviously, the first question everybody wants me to ask you. Why did you decommit from LSU? And then what's your thoughts on that?
Since I committed to LSU back in July, a lot of things have changed in the recruiting world. For me, not for me, it was just about just knowing relationships, and valuing relationships. Tips off to LSU, it's still one of the schools I consider. But me and my family had talked, and we just about just evaluating it, and I feel like I did it too early, and I couldn't get the best out of it. You know what I'm saying?
You want to get those visits,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame you for that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're not even 17 yet, are you?
Yeah, I'm 17 right now.
You just turned not long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
I mean, you want to go on your visits.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, if USC's calling me or Ole Miss, Kiffin, I don't know if I go to Ole Miss, but if USC was calling me or Oklahoma or whoever it is, yeah, man, go take those visits. But I mean, you did do it early.
Yeah, early, like real early. Earlier than I thought. I look back at it and I was like, wow.
But just so LSU fans know, I mean, you do like LSU.
Yeah, I love LSU.
And
growing up, me and my family, that's how we used to watch LSU. A dream school for me.
You told me Jamar Chase is still your guy.
Yeah.
You think the Bengals can go back?
Yeah, I think they can. Definitely can.
What do these other schools have to show you that LSU doesn't have, you think? I mean, you're looking for something that's different, but because they have a lot to offer.
Yeah. I mean, not too different. I mean, a lot of schools, every school has something different, and I just wanted to, look into that, I didn't really just know what other schools have to offer, like, besides LSU, but, not too much different.
Yeah, I mean, North Louisiana, Terrace Marshall, Devin White, Wendell Davis, just a bunch of guys. The late David Woodley came out of Byrd, a lot of great LSU players from Shreveport. And then Tackett Curtis is being recruited by LSU. I know that Tackett's being recruited all over the world. I know that he's trying to decide LSU or Ohio State and Wisconsin and USC and Alabama. There's a lot of kids coming up in Shreveport this year, but I think you're the top player in the state possibly. I've been watching football 30 years in Louisiana. I've seen some great players. Kevin Falk, I've seen Michael Brooks, that played at Ruston, was a great one at LSU probably before your time. Was a DN. Cecil Collins, a lot of great, you're one of those guys that you got something different to you. And what I like about your game is that you're not just gifted, but you have this swagger of toughness to you.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go on the field, you can tell if someone's trying to guard you, it's not going to happen. But I can feel that from you watching you play. Where do you get that from? And if you've always had that growing up?
I mean, my grandfather, he always told me to be confident, when I'm doing things. That's how I just carry myself, just being confident, just knowing when I get on that field, anybody that step in front of me, this ain't going to end too well for them.
When the ball's thrown, you can tell it's mine.
Yeah.
Because the game's fast. But the corner's coming, the safety's coming, but
I don't too much worry about it.
You're not worried about it. They're bouncing off of you. I mean, you're almost 6'2", and almost 6'3" right now.
Yeah. 6'3",
pushing 200 pounds plus and can run. Great vertical. And you're DB on the team and slash. So you don't look exhausted. Most guys are like, But when you go in on defense, you don't lose a step. What do you think of defense compared to offense?
To be honest, actually, I really love defense. Defense is really just like, it's fun, just being on defense, just seeing, this and that. I just love, just the plays that we run. I just love them. Like being on defense, be able to move, it just feels good for me.
And the receiver position.
Yeah, I just know the route tree that's coming to me. So it's look all the same.
You didn't know Jamar Chase played DB in high school until I told you.
I didn't know.
You and him, man, that's pretty rare.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, tell me this. I know they're actually calling him while he's here, coaches. They haven't stopped. They got to give you the morning off.
Yeah, for real.
So name 2 or 3 schools that you're probably going to visit that you have an idea in your mind.
Definitely Nebraska, and I'll say Nebraska and Arkansas. Me and Coach Mickey, Coach Mickey, one of the main reasons why I went to LSU, a great man, he's going to keep it real with you, and we just had that relationship ever since, And of course, Arkansas, Coach Kenny, a good coach, and we starting to build that relationship real good right now.
Who's recruiting you at LSU? What position, Coach?
Coach Hankton and Coach Carter.
Okay, so you got 2 coaches recruiting you. I tell you what, though, the Nebraska signed your boy at Green Oaks this past year. He's got the greatest name in the world, Dakotas Crawford.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, they do have a Shreveport guy on the team. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to ask you about hobbies, man. You got to have some hobbies because we know about what you can do in football and in other sports. because I think you play other sports too.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk more with Omarion Miller, who they call, and I'm going to ask you why they call you O when we come back. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, your host. We've got a great guest today, the Sports Scouting Report. You can go to YouTube and watch the show, just so you know, or wherever you get your podcasts. Go to Podbean. Podbean is where we have the show on the app, but we go wherever you get it. Go to any of those, iHeartRadio, Google Play, any of them. Go to those. But we want to go ahead and go back to our guest, Omarion Miller. Omarion, who they call O. How'd you get the nickname O?
To be honest, like, I really don't even know. My mom just gave me the nickname O.
Because your name starts with O.
Yeah, just start with O. Yeah, so I'm guessing that.
So it just bled over to the school,
yeah.
And so all the kids call you O?
Yeah, so that's what everybody call me now.
Because people like calling O in Baton Rouge, they think of Orgeron. Right?
Yeah.
So there's an O in North Louisiana now.
Yeah, for real.
You like that? You like
I actually do like it though. You know, I don't too much like everybody calling me Omarion,
but
like,
you know they know you if they're calling you O, right?
Yeah, that's when you know how they know me when they call me O.
Other sports, you said you're pretty good in basketball.
Oh yes, sir. Basketball. Actually, before I got it all big in this football stuff, like I was a full-time basketball player. I didn't too much really like football until high school. Coach Kavanaugh, he just told me to come try it out, and I started loving it.
Grew on you.
Yeah.
What are you good in basketball? Like, you said you play guard, forward. You can play center if you want.
Yeah, I really can play anything on my team right now.
What's your range shooting?
I mean, I can shoot it, but not as well as some of our.
Your drive?
Yeah, I'm a type of get to the goal type guy. I dunk it here and there.
Vertical over people.
Mm-hmm,
can you dunk from the free throw line?
No, I ain't gonna say it. No, I can't do that right now.
But you can dunk toward the goal.
Yeah, I can dunk it.
Backwards or fronts?
And I can do it backwards and frontwards.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that on video.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't need it to be recruited. I'm just saying I would love to see that. I mean, because you're not 6'5" or 6'6". I mean, you're 6'2", which is pretty impressive. Basketball, who's the toughest team you went against? Is there one that sticks out, like tough, basketball-wise, in the Shreveport area?
I have to say Rayville, my sophomore year.
Yeah, they had a pretty good guy on that team. Yeah. He was a football player, too.
Yeah, they actually put over 100 on us.
100?
Yeah.
Wow. How many did you score in that game?
I had like about a good 20.
What'd y'all finish with? 50?
I think we finished like 60, 70.
They scored 100?
Yeah, they was that good. They was shooting that thing.
Wow. What are your goals this year for football? I mean, you've already mastered receiver, DB. Y'all have been in the playoffs. Y'all won district 3 years in a row. Somewhere in the back of your mind, I know you're thinking state title game, right?
Yeah, I just feel like this year's the year. We experienced all of it. We really prepared for the playoffs run and all this. So this year, I think we can pull it off. We got most of our team back. We didn't lose too many seniors, and I think really we just got our whole team back. To be honest, a lot of young guys on our team last year, and we getting prepared this year for some big.
I would have loved to seen you in track in the 100 meters.
Oh yeah, track. It's all right.
You did a little bit of track, but you didn't do the 100 or 200. You did the relays.
Actually, in 8th grade, I was really good at hurdles, but I stopped doing it. I don't know why though.
Man, you got track one more go around.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it out.
Man, I would love to see you though. 6'2", 200 pounds.
Yes, sir.
100 meters, 10.8. That'd be, that would be the fastest time in the country if you did that at 200 pounds.
10.8.
Yeah, for your weight.
Oh yeah.
That'd be something to do.
That'd be something
man.
to brag about.
Think of that, man. Think about that. And the 200, you could probably do a 21 something. I mean, that's, I know in college they're like 20. They're running 20s in the 200. But LSU won the national championship in track. Heck, if you do that, they might recruit you for track. Before we get to the last question, you didn't take your official visit to LSU yet, did you?
No, sir.
So you still have your official?
Yes, sir.
Are you looking at that during the season or after the season? All these visits, you want to get them out the way during the season, or do you want to do it when the season's over?
To be honest, I think I would love to do it during the season. On a big time, big time games. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be smart because, shoot, if you're playing basketball, you're not going to be able to visit a lot of schools because you're playing basketball. But man, good luck to you. You mature beyond your years. You also, I mean, in football, obviously, you're one of the best I've seen in 30 years as a skill player. Talk about anybody before we go that you'd like to recognize that had an impact on your life.
First of all, I just want to thank all my coaches, the whole coaching staff. When this stuff needs to be done for me, like, taking me, to this place, they all have pitched in and, made a good impact on my life. So thankful for all my coaching staff. And second of all, I want to thank my whole entire family. To my mom, my grandfather, my grandma, they just real big on me. Always encouraging me, to do this. And I'm so thankful to have them.
And look, when you do commit, and I know y'all are going to make that decision, but like on signing day, let's say you commit on signing day. Everybody's like, please do it in the morning. Because if you wait till 7 at night, people are like, oh no, you'll be the last committed at 7 at night. But it's weird because the school does it during the school day.
Hours, yeah.
But would you think, have you ever thought of that? Like, do I want to do it at school or do you want to do it at night? You want to do it during the day? Some of these guys are doing it in the morning.
Me personally, I think I would type of like, kind of like in the day. Nighttime type.
Nighttime?
Not
You want
too,
the night?
Yeah, type stuff.
Let
like
school
that.
in?
Yeah.
I seen one kid commit at a hotel with 200 family members.
That's crazy.
Like they had a room in a hotel, and he was the last guy to sign that whole day in the United States.
Wow.
So LSU fans are like, no, please don't do that. Good luck to you, man.
Yes, sir, I appreciate you.
One of the top players in the country, not just Louisiana, and one of the top 5 I've ever seen in my life playing skill positions in the state ever is this kid right here from North Caddo High School. Robert Williams, Boston Celtics, before we go, are they going to win it all?
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for them. Big Rob, this one, when I used to play basketball, was one of the guys I looked up to, so
Boy, he grinds.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him.
I would not want to go up against Robert for a rebound. That guy is physical as they come. And he doesn't look 270, does he?
No, he don't look 270. He looks like about
230, 240. Yeah. Great athlete.
So we're talking about great catches. Well, here he's back. Omarion Miller, the mainstay on the top 5. 2 defenders on him. Let's get that super down so we can see it better. On the ground, makes the grab. Let's watch it again in slow motion, folks. Look at this. 2 defenders all over him. How in the world? And if you watch his eyes there, he keeps his eyes on the ball the entire time. I mean, this is just an unbelievable catch.
The following was taken from a Rivals.com article from June 28, 2021, entitled, LSU Target, Omarion Miller, Rerouting, Soaring to Late Grandfather's Vision. You could tell he was talented, but he didn't know how special he was. Devin Washington, a Vivian native and local trainer and coach, told Rivals.com. Everyone would tell him, hey, you're a football player. Nah, man, I play basketball. I carry that chip on my shoulder, and I play with it, Omarion Miller said. I really push myself because I feel like it's something I've got to do. Omarion's mother told Rivals.com, he'll say, I'm doing this for my pawpaw. This is for pawpaw. Ever since my daddy passed, it seemed like he's been really at it because he knows that's what he really wanted for him and expected of him and always stayed on him to achieve. Now, instead of coaches trying to convince him to give football more serious consideration in his free time, Miller is prioritizing the sport and seeking out additional training sessions at every turn. A lot has gone on for that family, and I think this is what's going to take care of his family, Washington said. And I think he's realized that this is what his grandfather wanted him to do, and that he wanted to do it. The whole family, I just think this gives them peace at heart in knowing that Big D already saw this. He just wanted to be here for it. I'll never forget Big D's words. He said, Devin, I hope I'm here to see O make it to the next level. He said, he's a very special kid, and I stay on him as hard as I can. And he's not going to show a lot of emotions. That's just O. He's not going to get real into it or say too much. But I know for a fact, deep down inside, he's all about making his family proud. Omarion Miller played at North Caddo High School for 4 seasons under Coach John Kavanaugh. He finished his career with 154 receptions for 3,492 yards and 43 touchdowns in 30 games, averaging 116.4 yards per game and 22.7 yards per catch. He also had 16 rushes for 193 yards and 3 touchdowns on offense, 4 kickoffs for 188 yards, including a 98-yard touchdown, 1 punt return for 70 yards, and 2 interceptions for 127 yards, one of which he returned for a touchdown, giving him 4,070 all-purpose yards and 48 touchdowns. On defense, Omarion had 10 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 2 pass breakups. In his senior season, he had 49 receptions for 1,183 yards and 15 touchdowns in 10 games, averaging 118.3 yards per game and 24.1 yards per reception. He had 7 100-yard games in 10 games, including a 200-yard performance against Neville with 7 receptions for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns. He added 16 rushes for 193 yards and 3 touchdowns, including 1 100-yard game. He added 115 yards on kick returns, 70 on punt returns, and 127 on interception returns for 1,688 all-purpose yards. Against North Webster, he had 100 rushing and receiving yards with 5 rushes for 125 yards and a score, and 5 receptions for 132 yards and a score, giving him 267 yards on 10 touches with 2 touchdowns. Against Green Oaks, he had 5 receptions for 144 yards, a punt return for 70 yards, an interception return for 65 yards for 279 all-purpose yards. He was named the 2022 Shreveport Times Male Athlete of the Year for his standout abilities in both football and basketball. In Omarion Miller's junior season, he had 76 receptions for 1,502 yards and 20 touchdowns in 12 games, averaging 125.2 yards per game and 19.8 yards per reception. He had 6 100-yard receiving games, 5 of which were over 150 yards and 1 over 200 yards. He had 11 receptions for 235 yards and 4 touchdowns against Mansfield, and 10 catches for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns against Ovayols in the state playoffs. He returned 1 kickoff for 63 yards for 1,565 all-purpose yards.
Omarion Miller is the newest addition to Nebraska's 2023 wide receiver class. The Huskers are now up to 3 commits, and each guy brings something unique to the table. It's unclear how many more receivers Nebraska will add, but there's one guy who will have a seat at the table no matter what accommodations have to be made. At 6'2", 190 pounds, Omarion is the biggest of the bunch. Miller hails from Vivian, Louisiana. He was once committed to Mickey Joseph at LSU. The 5.9 Rivals 4-star followed Mickey to Nebraska after reopening his recruitment at the end of May. Miller is the 14th ranked receiver in the class. Jaden
He's going to try to come like this potentially, but you've got to be aware of the tight end slipping back across the field.
4th down and 5. Sanders sprints out of the pocket, looking. Touchdown, Omarion Miller. Wow, this kid's electric. His 3rd catch of the game. He's over 100 yards. And now with his first TD, that makes it a 48-33 game.
The body control and concentration from Miller is off the charts on this play. It's a broken play. Sanders scrambles out of the pocket, and here's Miller running the back end line. And watch, he's going down. He slid down and just flashes those hands late as the ball's going to the ground, and he's able to secure the touchdown. That's incredible.
10 minutes and 29 seconds remaining in the fourth. 48-34. The momentum is starting to shift. Colorado's confidence is growing by leaps and bounds. Why? They put a couple of babies in the game. I mean real babies. Omarion Miller, a freshman, coming in, making huge plays.
Here was the first one, just a hitch route, and he's like, oh, okay, no one's going to attack me. Now take off. You know, what, 60 yards later, he's got his first catch of his career. And then you see the confidence. Beautiful fight for the ball, one-handed. That one down the field, and then the fourth down catch in the end zone. That body control while he's sliding to catch that ball with the concentration. Really excellent stuff from a young player. And now all of a sudden, you've got Cormani McLean on the defensive side, and here Omarion Miller, two of the highly recruited athletes that Coach Prime brought in, making huge plays here in this game.
First at the 20. Shedeur Sanders, sideline throw, caught. Omarion Miller with a burst. Oh, he almost broke that one. Domani Jackson with the saving tackle. A gain of 27.
Right away, first on his first catch inside. Now this one here on the outside, watch him spin to his right shoulder. He takes the ball to his right and he just spins that direction. That's a great lesson, even for a young player. Go where the football takes you, because a lot of times a quarterback who's really feeling it and throwing the ball accurately, he will communicate with his ball placement. So if the ball's on the outside, spin to the outside. That's what he did, and he picks up more yardage.
Remember, Omarion Miller, the freshman, had his first catch in this game. He now has 4 catches for 146 yards and a touchdown. And now Shedeur Sanders' numbers starting to get gaudy. 25 of 38, 301 yards passing, 3 touchdowns and an interception.
You gotta be aware of where Miller is now. He's been the threat in the second half, number 14. He's at the top of your screen.
3rd down and 4. Here's the freshman from Louisiana. Sanders caught. Omarion Miller first down. Buffalo's 13-yard gain.
Boy, that ball surprised him. It was thrown with such great anticipation from Sanders that Miller barely turned around before he caught it.
First 49, empty backfield for Shedeur Sanders. Sanders over to the sideline. He's got Miller. Miller still running and finally steps out of bounds.
Nice concept, getting the ball outside of the numbers, get it out of bounds. And man, this guy, how about just rolling into the second half? He had played 11 snaps until this second half, Gus, before today. And now he has just gone out there and been the threat for the Colorado Buffaloes.
175 receiving yards on 6 catches with a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 36.
Can I ask both Shedeur and Omarion to please...
Omarion,
sorry. Can I ask you both to describe the 4th and 5 touchdown pass? And Shedeur, first with you, what did you see? Because every replay I saw, there wasn't any opening there, and you found one. Can you sort of describe what you saw, and then maybe go from there?
Really just trusting the play call. OC coach, he made the call. We just got to execute it. That's it. Starting off, we executed plays early and often. We was here and there, and then we had a couple penalties. So we can't afford to keep doing that when we're playing these better teams. And yes, I'm proud of him for being able to step up and knowing it's that moment, his time was coming, and he put it on display for y'all.
Martin, what did you see on that play?
Pretty much the same thing Shedeur said, just trusting in the play, we go over those plays every day, just building confidence with each other, and, just believe I can make that play. So, it's all about trusting your teammates.
Were you screened on that play by the defensive back?
Not really. He kind of just stepped in front of me, and, I took it backside, and I just went and took the ball.
Collegiate. Ryan, take.
Omarion, what was it like to just have the game you had today?
Oh man, it was crazy, you know. Honestly, last night I dreamed about playing like this, you know. I just dreamed I'd come out here and destroy, and I did it. So, you know, all praise to God.